Let me show you two different methods how to connect your X3 wireless controller to your phone. So this controller works with both Androids and also iPhones, which is absolutely awesome. So there are actually two ways how we can connect. First is using pure Bluetooth mode. So essentially, if the games you are playing basically do not actually support external controller, we can actually map manually basically controls on our screen to correspond basically on the actions on the gamepad essentially. But if your game already supports external controllers, then it's actually very easy. So we are simply going to launch this controller in this Xbox controller mode. So this controller essentially can fool our phone into thinking that this is actually Xbox controller, which is absolutely awesome. And to launch this mode, so basically here are all the shortcuts what you need to use for all the systems, so for Android, iOS and everything else. So basically we are going to use this home plus right button to basically make it as almost like Xbox controller. So you see, while the controller is off, so no lights, if there is some light, simply press and hold to turn it off first. So we're going to hold this and this B button, hold, and it will start to blink like this. Next we are simply going to go in our Bluetooth settings, so click and hold. Okay, let's find, so you see it creates this Xbox wireless controller. So you see, actually pretty cool. So pair it. Also on some phones, the first time you connect, it might disconnect. So you see what happened, it actually shut down. So what we have to do is we have to do it again. So I do not know why it actually happens for some phones. So simply let's repeat. The second time it actually works. It's already connected, but I'm not sure why it's doing that like that. So again, let's place in that mode. Let's simply go in our in the Bluetooth settings. So you see, if you click here, so you see it's connected, and now we're ready to start basically. And then we are ready to start playing games. Also for some games, such as maybe Call of Duty Mobile, we also need to go in the settings and also configure this controller a bit as well. So we have to go in the settings, so you see we have this tiny settings icon here. So if we click this, then click on controls, scroll a bit down, enable controller support, make sure it's on, and also click this unfold thing here. And in the controller type, make sure to select Xbox. And you can go back basically and start playing our game now. So as you see, so you see, absolutely great. So as you see, works absolutely flawlessly here. So, and what to do if your game actually doesn't support external controllers by default, then actually we can use the second mode on this controller when connected basically to a phone. So we are going to press home plus A button. So home plus A, turn it on in this mode. As you see, it starts to blink like this. Again, we have to basically go in our Bluetooth settings, and you see it found this GamePad Plus V3 essentially, so we had to connect to this. So you see it can actually work in two modes for phones as well. So let's pair this, and you see it got enabled in this mode. And then next we simply have to go in the Play Store and download this application called ShootingPlus V3. So once we download it, essentially, let's open it up. So it will connect here. So you see, and basically once it's opened, it's kind of already pre-configured for some games, the most popular ones which maybe do not have the best controller support here. And what this app allows to do essentially is to basically program specific areas on our screen on the game basically to our controller buttons. So you see by default I already have, but in my opinion the controls aren't actually set up very good. I think these are maybe some older ones, so you will actually help most probably reconfigure this stuff a bit better. So we are going to click add preset over here and then simply find the game we want, for example, to set this up for. So maybe let's select this one. So I'll simply show you. Then we are going to simply click on this game. Oh, also make sure to go over here in these settings and advanced settings, and make sure you enable this floating ball. So this thing that we can click tap and basically customize this thing. So make sure this is enabled at least for the first time when you are playing this, because we need that. So again, simply click that. So edit preset here. So the game will start now. So the game is starting, basically wait for it to load. For example, in this game, let's actually close this first, because we actually want to go in the game, otherwise the screen isn't actually responsive. So simply, start playing your game where you have the controls. So next, when we are basically playing the game, as you see, you have your touch controls on the screen. So we're going to click this ball thing over here, and see, basically, we can now customize basically the options. So you see, I already had basically set up for this game, but see, we can basically like hold these things and simply drag wherever we need. So basically this button would correspond basically clicking on this exact spot on the screen. So if you want also add more buttons, for example, so if you want to customize this brake pedal, for example, so choose which button you want, simply press it. As you see, this button like gets placed on the screen here. Then we can simply, for example, like drag this on the like brake pedal, and if you press the X button, essentially this controller basically will send command to click on that point basically on the screen, and that also means the brake would actually get pressed. So you see also, if you so like click also once and release on these icons, you can also like configure basically the settings for it as well. So you see, you can also like make it to slide something on the screen, or also you see what we can set up. So you see, it's actually very advanced what we can do over here. Or also click this select, or also new. So new IC also like completely deletes everything, and we can like set new controls, for example. So you see, basically we can start from fresh here. So as you see, I'm simply pressing, for example, this one. This arrow gets placed on my screen. I'm going to simply drag, and so once satisfied, simply click save. So click OK, and then you see basically once I start to press, this already works. So you see, this like program is basically pressing our screen for us in that area. So it's absolutely awesome. We can actually set this up, and other controllers obviously aren't capable of doing this. So absolutely amazing. And overall I think this controller actually is absolutely amazing. Not only it works absolutely great with any phone, so even it supports games that actually normally do not support controllers, but also the price is absolutely insane on this controller. So I actually got mine on AliExpress, and I literally paid actually a bit under $5. If you also want to get this controller for the same crazy price, simply check out the special discount links I'll leave in the description. Also again, this is with free shipping as well, and directly from the manufacturer who makes this controller. So for like $5 with free shipping, that's absolutely insane what we're getting. And also we consider that actually like really decent build quality as well, also very decent battery life. So for this price, I think this controller is absolutely insane. I really have no idea how they can even produce this thing for this price. So absolutely awesome. Good luck.